Hello everybody, my name is Emilian Burcea and I serve as a technical director at Wenmoon Studios, a game development company based in Ireland, focusing on creating AAA titles with blockchain integration. And I'm standing here before you to present our first metaverse project called Age of Zalmoxis. But before we get into any of the technical details, I will make you a promise that by the end of this talk, I will have convinced you that this project is outstanding both in scope and uniqueness, and that by leveraging current blockchain and crypto technologies, we are building a multi-platform experience that will empower people to earn an income, all while having the time of their lives. So what is Age of Zalmoxis Rise of the Fallen? It is a third-person, massively multiplayer action RPG with NFT and token integration, in a fantasy version of the Dacian Empire grounded in history where threats from other realms converge. Now, this all sounds probably familiar. Third-person multiplayer, NFT integration, crypto gaming. These are buzzwords that have recently taken a life of their own and have flooded the internet and the shared human consciousness. But what sets us apart from other similar projects is that we are a AAA studio that aims to deliver a fully fledged, realistic, and immersive experience where you can inhabit a character in our metaverse and enjoy unparalleled experiences. And if by chance, for example, you are not coming from the game development industry, AAA means basically a Hollywood blockbuster. That is our aim. So let's discuss some details about the actual game experience. Age of Zalmoxis is a fantasy open-world game grounded in history, focused on the ancient Eastern European kingdom of Dacia. It begins shortly after the assassination of their first king Burcea. As their kingdom shatters into tribes, Dacian nobles compete for leadership. Celtic, Roman, and Sarmatian armies prepare to invade and supernatural threats appear. Players take the role of a proud Dacian champion whose body merges with a heroic soul. They will fight otherworldly monsters and mortal foes and seek to fragment the Dacian kingdom further. It is also important to point out that even though the game has soft fantasy elements, it is grounded in historical authenticity. And on that note, we partnered with the Institute of Archaeology Iași of the Romanian Academy, towards whom we also made a $16,000 donation to help further archaeological research. Under the advisory of Professor Dr. Alexandru Berzovan, a doctor in ancient history and archaeology and a scientific researcher, we aim to shine a light on these proud and fearless peoples. To accomplish this monumental undertaking, we put together a team of multicultural game development industry veterans who have worked at renowned studios like Blizzard Entertainment, EA, Fireaxis, Google, Sony, Ubisoft, Warner Bros., ZeniMax, CD Projekt Red, Flying Wild Hog, and many, many others. We strive to evoke awe through art and story. We strive to do intelligent innovation. And also, we strive to reward our player base by providing value for the expenditure of their most valued resource, the time put into playing our game. So in essence, this will not be a pay-to-win type of game. Instead, we follow a play-to-earn philosophy by leveraging the Elrond Blockchain due to its scalability, speed, security, nominal transaction fees, zero downtime, environmental friendliness, token and NFT support, decentralized exchange, the Maiar wallet that has incredible ease of use, and many, many, many other unmatched perks. So maybe you're asking yourself right now, how will this play out? So as I mentioned earlier, the Dacian character's body merges with a heroic soul, which will come in NFT form. Initially, we created a set of 3,462 heroic soul NFTs for our early investors. These, in turn, can create a new generation of souls NFTs called the Summoned. They can summon more and stake them for token rewards until the game's release. These NFTs are the key used for entering the game world and start customizing your hero. Players who do not own NFTs can borrow a character under a blockchain smart contract, where the lender and the borrower will share the profits accumulated in the game upon an agreed percentage rate. These features are already live on our thriving marketplaces. The game token is called Koson, like the real Dacian currency, and it is an ESDT on the Elrond Blockchain. We decided to limit the supply to 270 million units. Holders will be able to claim rewards, and if they stake their tokens and NFTs. So, from an economics point of view, the more players join the game, the less supply of Koson will be available, thanks to the burning mechanisms used during various game mechanics, like summoning characters, breeding horses, or buying land. And to expand more on the land ownership system that I just mentioned, our metaverse will consist of 5 types of biomes: Alpine, Continental, Pannonian, Pontic, and Steppe. Our players will be able to own land plots in the persistent game world by acquiring 4 types of chests, each of these containing a piece of land and random equipment items used in-game. And there will also be a chance of getting a legendary item or an alpine land, which will have increased value compared to the other biomes. And from a visual standpoint, all I can say is that the game will be gorgeous. We will be using the engine developed by Epic Games called Unreal Engine 5, which is an industry-leading tool used both in game development and cinema, bringing titles such as The Mandalorian, Westworld, and Space Sweepers to a different level of visual awe. At Wenmoon Studios, we aim to actively reshape the industry, pioneer change, and reward players by offering them ownership and building a sustainable ecosystem. Thank you, and if you have any other questions. Sorry for reading, by the way. I started writing this like 2 days ago, and yesterday was my birthday, so it was kind of a mess, everything.
Shots on you.
Thank you very much.
Hi. What stage is the development of the game at the moment?
So we started in December, I think, the company. Since then, we opened the marketplace. We had a first private sale for whitelisted investors, which like the first pre-sale of the token sold entirely. We also minted those like 3,462 NFTs for the heroic souls, which also, of course, all of them sold out. We are currently in a hiring surge. We are around 40 people working actively in pro-production of the project, and we aim at reaching, I don't know, like I think the last estimate was like around 165 employees by the end of next year. We assume, so we plan on launching an alpha version of the game by the end of next year, and the full game release should be ready in around 4 years. So things are going strong on our side of things.
So when are you launching the token, if the game will be out in 2 years?
So the token is already being able to be purchased by the whitelisted people, and in June we are also aiming to list it on the DEX and the CICX marketplaces. The Maiar, sorry, the Maiar marketplace and Binance.
So what would you do with the token if there's no game?
Right now, we're using it as an early investment to help us fund the project by staking, and they're also gonna earn rewards. And for financial gain, obviously, because it's a business at the end of the day, we will...
How do you earn rewards if there's no game?
The game is in Pre-production, like any studio, it takes time to build a
So
game.
you launch the token.
We launched the marketplace, which is active since 2 months ago, which allows trading right now for tokens and the game is in production. It takes time. Games usually take a
So
lot.
you launch the token after the game.
The token will be listed in June, if I'm not
So
mistaken.
what do you do with the token? If there's no game?
The game is in production.
All right.
The game will come.
So
Right
okay.
now, so let me explain. Right now, from what I understand, the problem is I'm technical director on the game development side, not on the crypto side. So right now the token is blocked basically until we launch the game. So there is like a period in which we will slowly start to.
You mean the vesting period?
Yes.
All right. You said you have a AAA studio.
Yes, that's what we're aiming for.
You're aiming for.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So you launched the company last year in December?
December, yes.
Okay.
Right now we're like 40 people hired. It's still an ongoing process. Obviously, like any business, it takes time. It's really hard to get 200 people on board in such a short notice. So the usual course of life for this sort of projects is pre-production, then the production cycle starts, then game release, then continual seasonal new updates to keep people interested in the project.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Last
Just to be
question.
clear, you're going to launch the game in 4 years from now, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
But by then, next year, we will already have alpha beta testing where people will be able to play player versus player and earn token rewards and
Okay. So there is something happening in the next 12 months.
of course, yes.
So how did you get people to invest in the crypto world where they're not going to get a return like tomorrow, because that's all crypto investors do?
Because
And it could happen in 4 years, but the whole world will have changed.
that is possible, that is true, but this project is actually massive. We are actually trying to actively recruit the best in the industry. We are trying to create a product that is basically unmatched so far on the market. And that's why we are leveraging Unreal Engine 5, which is a piece of software which is, in simple terms, I can describe it, it's simply mind-blowing. It brings cinematic quality to games where before it looked just like a cartoon, basically. Now you can have Hollywood quality levels playing on your machine at home. So from my point of view, it's very easy to keep people interested and vested in this project simply because of its promise. And obviously, we're always keeping them updated and keeping them up to date on whatever is happening. So we are, like I said in my last paragraph, we are actually trying to reshape this game industry. So some of the artists, for example, working in the studio, are actively streaming while they are working and showing the people progress, keeping them interested, creating a community. And
So how much money do you have in fiat currency to pay people now? Because you must have millions to fund 160 people for 4 years.
I just work at the company. I do not know the exact numbers.
So there's some money somewhere.
There is some money somewhere,
Cool.
yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
No,
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, so.